Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope anyone who finds this video, you're doing exceptionally well. Today's topic is a question that a friend of mine asked to cover. It is, do women care if you are bald? Well, obviously not the girls I date, is my answer to that. And it's kind of a joke, but it's also kind of my answer to the question. Because fundamentally this is a numbers game. You've got to talk to a certain amount of girls to find out the ones that are going to actually like you back. It's a huge part of my criteria for someone to date, that they actually like me, funnily enough. I'm not really someone who wants to chip away at someone who sort of likes me or is sort of interested. I've got to actually find someone who's, I guess, dead keen, basically. What I'll say as well is that every girl has deal breakers. This is very natural. Not literally every man in the world has something which is a deal breaker to a girl. That is without question. There's no one who is like attractive to absolutely everybody. And that goes for every guy you think is some like alpha, giga chad, super popular, super famous. Nah, every single guy has something that is a deal breaker to some girl or some, I guess if they swing that way, some guy somewhere. That's just the nature of the numbers game. It's not 100% for everyone everywhere. And part of this whole journey is crunching those numbers and finding people that like you and think you are attractive, because obviously this is a whole lot easier if you find those people. Now, with all that said, is boldness an impediment in the dating game? It will actually affect you in a negative way overall. It also, as I said, it's almost certainly the deal breaker to some girls, and the goal is really to screen them out. Whether or not that's a large enough percentage to affect you in a really bad way is a question for debate. Some guys, maybe you will have to work harder because you are bold, that's just a fact. But just because you have to work harder doesn't mean that you can't have success. What I will say is the more success you have, the less you do care about it. That's a huge part of this journey. The thing about losing your hair is it's one of those things which becomes an insecurity, and that insecurity might be more the problem than the actual baldness itself. So, for example, if it's holding you back from talking to a lot of girls, that is an issue that you have to deal with. It is not really an issue for the girls you haven't spoken to. How are they meant to like figure out if they like you if you don't go up and tell them? It's just a zero-sum game in that manner. So yeah, there is an element of having to kind of throw yourself in there and actually put yourself out there. Otherwise, you aren't going to be able to overcome it. And at that point, yes, it's becoming a huge problem. But it's not got nothing to do with the question of whether or not girls care, you know? It's just a case of you care, and you caring is entirely the problem. So what helped me practically, one of the things was incorporating hats into my style. I know it sounds like a silly cover up or whatever, but genuinely it gave me the confidence to talk to more girls normally, go out and have a great social life, make more friends. Generally just incorporating that into my style really helped get me over the hump and get over that insecurity in the early days when I really didn't have enough success, didn't have enough experience to get over it myself as I was. There are some general things, like a general list that you can do that you should definitely do if you are a guy that's got like early male pattern baldness, or maybe you're an older guy that has it. Basic looks maxing, style guides, those sort of things would say. The main ones are get as lean as you can, get a tan, and upgrade your style and dress sense. Those are the big three. Now, getting lean is really important for everybody. Two of these are very important for everyone, but get lean is one of the most important things you have to do. It's the biggest advice we give to guys getting to self-improvement, especially with dating in mind, that you get as lean as you can. Obviously, you don't get like so lean that you're really skinny, but like you get leaner than you probably are. Most guys come in a bit overweight or carrying too much fat. A lot of people are skinny fat, which means they haven't really trained either. So yeah, a really bad mixture is being slightly fat with no muscle. You want to get lean, and then you want to start trying to gain muscle in like a lean muscle gain kind of way. That's a hugely important part of the journey. I recommend typically focus on your body and your body composition for 6 months when you first start getting into this sort of stuff. It helps so much, guys. Come on, like get lean and you'll see what I mean. Hey, it rhymes. But if you have abs, like so much easier in general. A tan is a nice addition for a lot of people. I think it's completely mandatory if you have no hair. The reason being that like obviously you don't want to be pasty and pale up here. Like I'm a little bit pale right now. It's something I got to fix, but it's obviously winter and we're in lockdown, so there's no tanning beds to go and use. You can use spray tans if you want. That's a quick one if you are kind of don't want to do tanning via the sun or via a tanning bed. If you want to use the sun or tanning beds, you can do it as safely as possible. I recommend obviously using sunscreen. If you're going out in the sun, you still should get a tan regardless, even if you put a little bit on. Especially on your face, you definitely want to put sunscreen on your face. Obviously you'll get old really quickly. The other thing you can do, and this is a bit more experimental and out there, Milano Tan 2, it's a peptide, an injectable peptide. It's not been approved by literally, I think, any national medical association like the FDA in America, so I'm not advising really anyone use it. I'm just saying rats that have used it in testing have shown very good results in terms of getting a tan and keeping some color. It's also very natural, and the research suggests that it might be safer than tanning without it. And the last one was just dressing better, dressing a good style. I think the typical advice for guys with no hair is to dress a bit more dressier, like dress shirts, and suits is a big one. That's not really my style. I go quite streetwear, urban wear apparel, because I like to wear hats as well. It doesn't really go with suits and shirts. But you can go for whatever you think is going to work for you. I would definitely try a lot of things out. Follow some blogs. There are great blogs out there which will tell you, they give you shortcuts to getting good style. Build yourself a really good wardrobe of like 3 outfits that you can just rotate, or versatile options that you can just mix and match with. That's the best way forward. But yeah, focus on researching that and figuring out what the best thing is for you. So in summation, yes, some girls do care if you're bald, but you aren't really going to have any chance with them, so what's the point? Go out and find the ones that don't care, the ones that won't screen you out for this as a deal breaker. Crunch those numbers, get as attractive as you can regardless of whatever's holding you back or you think's holding you back. Work through enough experience even with your insecurities, because you'll still find people out there that you want you, even if it's 1 in 100. But as long as you've crunched for like 1,000, talk to 1,000 girls, you'll still manage to get 10 out of that. So it's not the worst situation in the world. There's still a route to success. And yeah, also just dress well, get a tan, and get lean, boys. All right, until tomorrow.